This has been the best Eagles offseason in the history of my lifetime. And it all starts with one thing: the A.J. Brown trade. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. Best Eagles offseason in my lifetime. There, I said it. I mean it. That's the way it is. And here's the thing. It ain't over. There are still moves to be made. Still shoes to drop. Still double moonwalks to take. It ain't over yet, okay? We're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, there's a few things that I have to say, okay? First thing, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe for Eagles daily content, NFL daily content. We're getting ready to have perhaps the most memorable Eagles season that I can remember in a long time, okay? And I am hyped. I know you're hyped. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be streaming games live. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nonstop. So make sure you're subscribed. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. And thank you for all your support. The other thing I have to say right now is, sometimes you get caught up, especially this time of year, you get caught up in everything else you got to do in life because it's kind of slow football-wise. And I hadn't been watching many other videos of content creators, especially on other teams, And I just was watching some Mark Holmes stuff. Yes, I watch Mark Holmes sometimes. But I didn't realize that Stuart Morrison, a huge Cowboy fan, a big supporter of Mark, a supporter of mine as well, had passed away. I didn't even see it. So I just wanted to say my condolences to him, his family. May God bless them. Prayers go out to him. And I just want to say I'm proud of Mark Holmes. I saw that Mark went to Texas to help do work on his family's home, help improve it, like do some home improvements. And he went out there to Texas and did a lot of work. And I just want to say I'm proud of Mark Holmes. I'm proud of him and Michael Anthony. Where's the fitness? So shout out to them. I'm just seeing all this now, and shout out to them. And so I'm not gonna bother Mark Holmes until at least July. After July 4th, it's on. But right now, I'm gonna give Mark a break. Then I'm coming for the meats. But right now, I gotta give him a break. But seriously, to Stuart Morrison, rest in peace to his family. God bless. My condolences. Now, like I said, this is the Eagles' best all season ever. I would say that before this year, 2004 was the best. The year they got Terrell Owens, Javon Curse was fantastic, okay? But this is better. And now some Cowboy fans, other people always like to remind me of the Dream Team, but one day I'm going to do a video on the Dream Team, and I'm going to explain to you why I wasn't that big on the Dream Team. The Osmo signing I liked, but, and I was wrong about that. But there are a lot of other moves they made I didn't buy into. But this offseason to me has been the best offseason that I can remember, because you have a team that has been able to build primarily for the future while also being able to compete right away. And I think everything changed when the Eagles traded for A.J. Brown. When the Eagles made the trade for A.J. Brown, everything changed, because you remember the narrative leading up to that, right? First of all, the Eagles hadn't done nothing. It had been very quiet. You felt like, what are we doing on offense? We hadn't gotten any better. And secondly, people were like, would keep saying, oh, nobody wants to play with Jalen Hurts. Nobody wants to play with Jalen Hurts and come to the Eagles. Well, when the Eagles traded for A.J. Brown, the floodgates opened. All of a sudden, the Eagles realized, listen, we're not just good for the next few years, or next many years. We could be really good this year. And players started seeing it, and they wanted to come to Philly. Now, how good is A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown's a top 10 wide receiver. There's no question about it. And it was funny because PFF was doing a redrafting of the 2019 draft. And in that draft, A.J. Brown goes 3. He goes 3. So it said redrafting the 2019 NFL draft. 4 wide receivers go in the top 10, including A.J. Brown to the Jets at 3 and McLaurin to the Giants. I think that was at 4. So A.J. Brown goes 3. He was technically top 5 pick in that draft. The Eagles acquire him. He's an Eagle right now, 24 years old. It's going to be him and Devontae Smith for years to come. Very, very scary. But when that happened, I think the whole narrative of the offseason changed. I also think that players wanted to come to Philly. You got Bradbury, you got Tart. They came on one-year deals. Now they're coming not for the future, but they're coming for this year. But that's because the Eagles have done a great job of building a team for the future and a team for next year, okay? And did you know this? I thought this was pretty interesting. Ex-Viking starter reached out about a reunion. Former Minnesota Viking cornerback Trae Wayans admitted that he almost went to Philly during a recent interview on the Gary and Stein Sports Show. Wayne was released by Cincinnati Bengals on March 21st and is mulling a decision between latching on elsewhere or calling it a career. So the Eagles almost land Wayans, but instead they get James Bradbury, which is the better signing, okay? James Bradbury, to me, was the better pickup, in my opinion. So, I mean, it's funny how everything changed, and it really seemed to change when they traded for A.J. Brown. That, to me, is when the Eagles were on this trajectory that we're on right now. This isn't a dream team scenario. This isn't an all-in scenario. The Eagles are building for the future. I mean, you look at their draft picks, right? Jordan Davis, Dean, they got 2 first-round picks next year. Hassan Reddick, he signed long-term. A.J. Brown, he signed long-term. Really, you got a couple guys like Bradbury and Tart. They're on one-year deal, and the question is, which one of those guys has the best or most likely chance to latch on with the Eagles for more than a year? And I would say Tart. I think Tart is a guy I could see coming in, playing well, and then signing for a few years. James Bradbury, I think if he has a good year, which I expect that he's going to, I think he's going to go somewhere else and get big money. Tart, I could see sticking with the Eagles more than a year. And I'm okay with that. If Tart comes in and plays the way I think he's going to play, I'm cool with that. Maybe you use one of those first-round picks because you're not going to need it because Jalen Hurts is going to go out and play great. So maybe you use one of those first-round picks on a corner, okay? But, like, here's the thing. There are still moves for this team to be made. I think that the Eagles, though they may not trade and bring many more pieces in, I do think you're going to bring a running back in. I think the most likely scenario is probably Jordan Howard. I could see the Eagles reaching out to Jordan Howard at some point, bringing him in during camp. I think they need a bigger body to go along with those running backs. I've said it 1,000 times. But it's not necessarily all about what the Eagles will bring in. Also, who will they get rid of? Who will they get rid of and pick up assets for the future? Obviously, Andre Dillard remains a candidate for trade. I don't think I would trade him. Not unless I get like at least a second-round pick. I'd have to get at least a second-round pick. A left tackle who can play in this league. You never know when you're going to need it. Depth at offensive line is very, very important. I wish he could play multiple positions. They did not pick up his option year. So if I could get like a second-round pick, I would trade him, okay? Jalen Reagor, I think there's a good chance that he is not on the Eagles roster when it starts. I could totally see this situation, okay, where he's either cut or traded. A team like we talked about, like possibly Atlanta or somebody like that. That would make a lot of sense. I think with Reagor, it's tough because if you keep him on the team and you're paying him the money you're going to pay him, how do you justify him being the 5th wide receiver, the 4th wide receiver? He doesn't deserve to play over Quez Watkins or Pascal or, in my opinion, Greg Ward Jr. just because of where he was picked. So I think the Eagles got to make a move to probably try to move on from him. And I wish him well, and maybe the change of cities and teams will do him good. The other guy you got to wonder about is Gardner Minshew. Now, I don't think the Eagles have any intentions to trade him. But if you could get a team that is in need of a quarterback that is willing to pay you something pretty substantial, maybe like a second-round pick or something, you gotta think about it, right? And it was interesting because it said, read this article where it's saying the Seahawks are considered a trade destination for playmaking quarterback. And they're talking about Minshew, okay? In a list compiled by Tim Weaver of the Seahawks Wire, Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Gardner Minshew is the Seahawks' top quarterback trade target. Weaver attributes Minshew's low salary cap figure of 2.54, which I thought it was $900,000. So I stand corrected. I was wrong about that. It's still cheap, but it's a little more than I thought. His ability to create outside the pocket and his astonishing touchdown to interception ratio, 41 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, as a reason for why he's a valuable asset. So I think that it's very unlikely that the Eagles would trade Gardner Minshew. But if you get a quarterback, and you know how quarterbacks go, especially once you get into camp, if somebody gets hurt and a team's whole season feels like it's going to go up in smoke if they don't have a quarterback. Sometimes teams overpay. And if somebody is willing to overpay me for Minshew, I would do it. You have to give me at least a second-round pick, or I'm keeping him. I think the plan long-term is to get Minshew, put Minshew, let him play out this year, then go. Hopefully Carson Strong develops into a second, to a backup quarterback, a legitimate backup quarterback. Then you have a backup quarterback for years to come. But we'll see. But there are still moves that this team, like I said, that they can make. I still think the next big shoe to drop is going to be another running back. It just makes sense. They need another running back. Unless this kid Brooks shows up. I mean, I like Miles. I like Gainwell. I even like Boston Scott. I like them all. I just want a bruiser. I just want a big physical back that complements those guys. And like I said, I think Jalen Reagor is probably the most likely to get traded. And then Dillard and Minshew, I would consider, but it'd have to be for at least nothing less than a second-round pick. But no matter how you look at it, the Eagles have had the best offseason in the history. Now, I'm going to give you one more reason why this is the best offseason in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? And this doesn't have to do with the roster that they've assembled. This has to do with the fact that this was the year that they're bringing back Kelly Green. It's announced that Kelly Green is coming back. It may be an alternate, but it's coming back. And you don't know, since the mid-'90s, I've been waiting for it to come back. When they had that one throwback game versus Green Bay at the beginning of the season when Vic came in for Cobb and they were in Kelly Green, when I saw that, I haven't ever been able to get it out of my mind. So, to me, the fact that we're getting Kelly Green, and oh, by the way, we're getting an all-black helmet this coming year to go with the black uniform, I just think that I don't know if I could write a better script. And I expect the logo and I expect a lot of things to kind of get updated. And it all happened this season. Best all season in Eagles history. What do you guys think? Is it not? Either way, I'm ready for camp to begin right now. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. I know a lot of you guys don't like the new Eagles word mark, but let me tell you, I don't think it's going to end there. I really don't. This word mark got changed. This logo is going to get updated. I don't know what it's going to be. Hopefully it's more like this, Give me some sort of combination, But I think that we're getting more than just a word mark. I think we're going to get a logo update. I think we're getting a bunch of stuff. If you looked at that Eagles new word mark, and then you put it on some like Kelly Green pictures with Eagles, let me tell you something. It looks pretty good. So I think we got a lot of updates coming. Can't wait to see it. And I can't wait for them to introduce and show us what the black helmets are going to look like. We need that now. I need it now. With that said, Denzel Washington out.